In the lively village of Abule Oro, everyone knew Mama Gladys. She wasn't wealthy, at least not in the way most people measure wealth. Her home was small, her belongings modest, and her vegetable garden just enough to keep her kitchen running. But her heart, it was a treasure chest overflowing with kindness. Mama Gladys believed in sharing whatever she had, no matter how little. Her jollof rice was legendary, and her yard, always alive with the sound of children's laughter, was affectionately called God's kitchen. People whispered about her sacrifices, but no one quite knew how much she gave until that fateful week. It started one Tuesday morning when Babajide's unwilling goat invaded her vegetable garden. Mama Gladys had been up early, pulling weeds and humming a hymn when she spotted the goat chopping away her prized tomatoes. She grabbed her broom and blotted out of the house, shouting, "Babajide, if I catch these goats, they will be pepper soup by evening." Babajide, known for his mischievous grin, appeared moments later, laughing. "Ah, Mama Gladys, forgive my goats. They are fasting, only eating holy vegetables." Mama Gladys was furious, but couldn't bring herself to lash out. She muttered under her breath, marched back into her house, and returned with a small pot of leftover jollof rice. "Here," she said, thrusting it into Babajide's hands. "Feed yourself and your goats, so they stay out of my garden." That same day, news came of a young widow, Nkechi, stranded at the bus stop with her 3 children. She had come for a funeral, but spent all her money and couldn't afford to get back home. Mama Gladys sighed deeply. She had been saving coins in a tin for months to buy a new dress for Christmas. It wasn't much, but it was her dream. She stared at the tin for a long time, then whispered, "Lord, what is mine is yours." She wrapped the tin in a cloth, walked to the bus stop, and handed it to Nkechi. The widow, eyes filled with tears. "Mama Gladys," she snubbed, "this is your savings. What will I do?" Mama Gladys smiled gently. "God will provide. Go home safely with your children." That evening, Mama Gladys alone in her yard, her mind heavy with the day's events. Her garden was ruined, her savings gone, and her pantry nearly empty. She looked up at the sky and prayed, "Lord, I give because I trust you. Please, don't let me grow weary." The next morning, she woke up to an astonishing sight. At her gate stood Babajide, but this time he wasn't laughing. Beside, he was a cart loaded with fresh vegetables, cassavas, and yam, and even a sack of rice. "Mama Gladys," he said humbly, "I was wrong to let my goats destroy your garden. Take this as my apology." She was stunned. "Babajide, this is too much." "No," he said firmly, "it's the least I can do." Word of Mama Gladys' kindness and sacrifices spread quickly. That afternoon, most visitors came knocking. One neighbor brought a live chicken, another a basket of plantains. A young man she had helped years ago showed up with a bolt of colorful fabric. "Mama Gladys," he said, "you will have the finest dress this Christmas." By the end of the week, her small house was overflowing with gifts. Bags of grains, fresh produce, and even a few coins began to pile up. But the greatest surprise came on Sunday. After church, the pastor approached her with an envelope. "This is from the congregation," he said. "Your faith inspires us all." Inside was money enough to repair her garden, buy a new cooking pot, and still have plenty left over. Mama Gladys clutched the envelope to her chest, tears streaming down her face. She whispered, "Lord, you have blessed me more than I could have imagined." From that day forward, Mama Gladys' life changed. Her generosity had ignited a wave of kindness in the village. Her garden flourished again, thanks to the help of neighbors, and her pantry was never empty. She even hosted a Christmas feast, wearing her beautiful new dress, feeding the entire village with the abundance she had received. As she stood at the head of the table, surrounded by laughter and gratitude, she raised her hands and said, "When you give with a willing heart, God doesn't just replace what you have lost. He gives you more than you can ever dream." Mama Gladys' story became a living testimony in Abule Oro. Her goodness brought about an overflowing of blessing, proving that when you trust God and share what little you have, He multiplies it beyond your imagination. Dear esteemed listener, be kind and generous. Even when it seems you have little, trust that God sees your sacrifice and will reward your faith. Never grow weary in doing good, for your harvest will come in due time. Remember, a cheerful giver reflects God's abundant love. Thank you.